Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and the Voyagers update is out right now, and it is awesome. It actually adds in a completely new ship, and we're not talking a new type, a completely new ship that you can build. So it is called the Corvette class. So if you want to think about it, it is a freighter is the largest ship in No Man's Sky. A freighter is the largest one. Then you have your frigates. They back up your freighter. Now we have a Corvette, and that is above a normal ship. So I have my normal ship here, right? This is a normal spaceship. This is a Sentinel ship. You just get in and out, and that's it. They've added in a Corvette, which is going to be even larger than this, but smaller than a freighter or a frigate. So if you want to find them, if you want to start using them right now, head to a space station. They've added in new landing pads because the Corvettes are huge. And so they need a whole new landing pad. So here is the Corvette. It's right on the entrance of the space stations. They're all here. And you can kind of see, like, this is the building area of the Corvette, the Corvettes. Look at how big this is. And because you can have multiple Corvettes, you can actually, look at, there's a whole bunch down the way. So they actually had to put in teleporters to put you on there. So that is the first one. We have 4 landing pads for Corvettes. It is crazy. And they treat your Corvette just like a normal spaceship. So like it would take the place of a Sentinel ship or a fighter or an explorer. And if you want to know about, we'll get into that a little bit later. But first, if you want to start building yours, come over here to this Corvette workshop. And right now, we don't have any Corvettes that we can use because we have none. We don't have any pieces. The easiest way to get pieces is to purchase modules right here at the space station. You can purchase basic modules or trade in advanced. We're not going to be able to do that yet. So at first, before you found anything, you have to buy your basics. And so this is all the basic building parts that you're going to find for the Corvettes. So you're going to need a cockpit. You're going to need a habitat. Let's buy 2 of those. And this is all going to be in units, by the way. So it's not nanites and not quicksilver. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 landing gear. Let's get let's build 3 of these. 2 thrusters. We're going to need a reactor. We can make a weapon, so we have a photon cannon. We need a landing bay because you can't just teleport in. We'll show you that. A pyro drive. We can do that if we wanted to. A foil. We can do cowling. So this is very reminiscent of Starfield. If you've done any ship building in Starfield, it has a similar feel. Not exactly one-to-one, but similar. So we got all our basic building blocks. So now what do we do? Let's create a new Corvette right there. So then it pulls you into this ship building, and it's different than the original one. In the traditional ship building, you only get like 3 parts, and that's it. In this ship building, in the Corvettes, you actually press Y if you're on Xbox or triangle if you're on PlayStation. It'll bring up your building menu. And so look at this. At first, they're saying, hey, look, they kind of go through the basics of when you first start out, maybe throw in some landing gear because you need to put it down somewhere to land, right? So let's do this. Boom, right here. And we want to put 2, right? Like that. And then we'll put 1 like there. Boom, that's our foundation. And then you just press Y to go back into your building menu. And let's put our habitat down. So, my, looks like I put my landing gear way too separated. Look at that, it's too far. That's okay. So, if you put it down, like, you know what, we get out of there. If you just press B or O if you're on PlayStation, this lets you pick up and move your object. So pick that up, move it over, and now go back into your building menu by pressing Y or triangle. Now these should fit. There we go. And we have 3 of them. So we need to lock them together. So you don't need a habitat. You can put in building blocks in between, like structure in between, But I'm going to do 3 habitats. That way we have a big living area right in the middle. But now we need a cockpit. That way we can fly it. And we need to do a landing bay. So you need an entrance into your ship. So we need to put it in there. So boom, like that. There we go. So we have the basic building blocks. We don't have an engine. We don't have a reactor. So we're going to need that. We're going to need weapons as well. So let's go back in here and let's look around through our menu. And look at all these pieces. And there are different types of it. So these are all the basic building blocks. Then you have up here, you have your structural decorations. These are all going to be structure stuff. So if you want to put in like a foil, or you want to put in, you know, Arcadia foil, the Albatross cargo tank. So these are all just basically structural. They will hold it together, but you can't go into them or anything like that. And then we have exterior decorations. So if you want to throw in windows, we have windows down here. You can throw in an air purifier, but again, it's just for looks. It's not, doesn't do anything in the game. If you want to have, you know, fuel rod, so it looks like you have an engine going, you can do that. But these you have to find. I have none. So I need to go find these, and I'll show you guys how to find them later on. But we're just going to build our basic one for now. So let's go back into our core modules. We need an engine. So we have a couple of these. Well, we have 4 of these. So let's throw these on. So these, we can we flip it? Yeah, see, we can flip it. Boom. So we have one engine on that side. One engine on that side. Then we're going to need a weapon. So we have our turret, I believe. Yes, we do. Let's throw a turret on there. And so they kind of snap. So you can kind of see it's not as free as like a Starfield builder is, but it is way more customizable than the original ship builder that we got in No Man's Sky. So there we go. Boom. We put down a weapon. Well, now we need a reactor. So you can see my checkpoint on the top right, your ship validation. Basically, you have to have core pieces. You need to have a reactor. You need to have weapons. You need to have landing gear. You need to have the basics. That way you can fly. After that, it's all up to you. You can make this however monstrous you want. So we need a reactor. Where's our reactor? There we go. Medusa class reactor. So we just slap one of these on right in the back right there. Now we're done. And now you can see at the top right, you can see, hey, look, that's your stats for your ship that you've built. And I say, hey, if I want to, I'm done, I'm good. Let's press your pause menu, or, you know, your whatever button it is on PlayStation. What do they call that? Is it the pause or select or whatever it is? Go to that. And now this will tell you, this is what your ship looks like. It's a C class, and that's going to be based on your reactor. So if you want a better class, you need a better reactor. Again, this is all basic, so that's why it's going to be a C class. But we have a lot of Bs, we have a lot of As, but these are all the parts I used. I have my 2 engines. I have all my landing gear here. I have my Medusa reactor. I have my habitats. You got everything in here. It's really, really awesome, and they take up room, and they give you a bonus. So I have my multiple landing gear. They each give me launch cost reduction and an extra boost. So we're good. So this is looking fine. Let's compare. And this is where it's going to take up a normal ship slot. So you could have up to 12 ships, and it counts your Corvettes. So like if you have like 4 fighter ships, you're only allowed to have 8 Corvettes. Or, you know, you have a couple of haulers, a couple of explorers. Just keep in mind, this is going to take up your room in your 12. You're allowed to have 12 total. And that counts everything together. So it's not a freighter, it's not a frigate. It is counted as a normal ship. So we're going to claim it. So this is my new Corvette. And look at this. You literally have to enter through the back runway, the cockpit. And here you are. Here's my interior. And this will adjust depending on what you build. So all the modules you add on. Here's my cockpit right here. So I can get in and fly. Or if you want to, you can decorate the inside too. So you have all of your normal base building things. So if I want to put a floor mat down, there we go. Look at that. Boom. As long as I'm not standing in the way. Boom. So I have a floor mat. Or if I want to put in a fireplace, I want to keep it warm in here? You could totally do that. Boom. It's just like base building. I don't know if a fire is a good thing to put in your ship, but hey, we can. You know, if you want to throw in, you know, a few chairs, couches, you could put a whole bunch of decorations. Or, look at this. We could put in all kinds of stuff in here. Like we could put in our anomaly seal. We can put in a weapon rack if we wanted to. Oh, I better make sure it's lined up right. There we go, right there. Boom. And now I can interact with the weapon rack. Well, it's kind of glitched into the wall, though. So there are going to be some weirdness because every module is going to be different, so it interacts with your objects differently. So that didn't line up right. That's all right. Let's go back into our build menu, and let's pull this and move it over here. Let's see. Is it gonna line up here? There it goes. That looks a little bit better. I still got a little bit of tanks in there. But yeah, you kind of get it. It's like base building. Depending on the modules you construct, it's going to be kind of funky. You know, if you want to put in a bite beat cable, you want to put in a bite beat machine, a health machine. You can also put in your portable refiner if you want to. But I would recommend use your interior modules for your Corvette. So they have a radar. They have a living wall if you want to build that. A refiner unit if you want to make a refiner in the wall. And it's literally, look at that, it's an entire wall. So these are built for, specifically for all of the Corvettes. So these will actually fit better. You can still throw in any of these decorations. You want to put a pink light in right there. There we go. But again, look at it, it doesn't really mesh well. So, and you need power. So notice how I don't have any lights or anything going on in here. So yeah, just depending on what you're going to do, be careful. But we want to find really, really good modules, right? Because this is all the basic stuff. So let's close my hatch and let's get out of here. So the second easiest way to find modules for your Corvette is to find a ship or a planet that has salvageable scrap on it. So when you look at a planet like this one right here, it has ancient bones. You're looking for a planet with ancient or with salvageable scrap. And I believe I have some right around here somewhere. Let me look. Salvageable scrap right there. So let's go down there and find some more modules for our Corvettes. And if you guys didn't know, you can get up while you're traveling. So look at this. And I can open up my back hatch. And look at that. It's so cool. So these ships are made to have multiple people in them. So if you want to have a group of friends with you, you can make a module. You can put down chairs so everyone can sit down. You can put down beds or whatever you want, and everyone can just hang out in this one ship instead of everyone using separate ships to get in there. Let's get into my cockpit. There we go. And let's fly down to the surface. And we can also, just like before, with any other ship, you can go third person and look at my nasty looking platter of a ship right there. My two engines on the side. My landing bay in the back just hanging out like a big triangle. But the easiest way to find more unique and more rare parts for your Corvettes is to get out and look for salvageable scrap. So let's look around. We're going to look for yellow. There it is right there. Salvageable container. Oh my God, 1,000 away. How far is this one? 1,000 units? Are you kidding me? 1,000? Oh my God, I'm going to have to walk for a minute here. But yeah, so there you go. And it's just like any other ship. It has launch fuel. So if you go into your pause menu, if you go to your starship, look at that. That is my Corvette. And it has launch fuel. It has pulse engines. You can get upgrades. You can do all this stuff. So it's just like a traditional starship. It just has extra room and extra features for if you want to play multiplayer, or if you want to be solo like me and just look cool and build your own ship, you can totally do that. But let's go over to this salvage container, and I can show you guys how you can get more unique, more cool parts to build your Corvettes. Or Corvettes. I keep calling it Corvette. A Corvette. A Corvette. All right. So once you find your salvage container, before they would just have a random ancient relic in them. Now they have ship parts, Corvette parts. So let's uncover this. And depending on how many arms this has, it will be how rare the items are. So this has 2 arms in it, so it's not very rare. You'll see some that have 3 or 4 arms. Those are more rare. We need to knock off these arms and then open up the salvage container. And there we go. We got a Speedbird fairing, which is a unique part. So if we go back into my inventory, look at that. Boom, right there. Speedbird fairing. That is a unique part that we could not buy from the generic shop. And you can just keep doing that all over the place. So just keep going and finding a whole bunch of salvage all over the place, and you'll get a whole bunch of different parts. And there are tons of parts. And so that is the easiest way to get it. Now, it is a random drop whenever you go to like a crashed freighter. If you open up the crashed freighter contents, they will give you parts as well. There's limited room on those, and so you're going to have to go find a whole bunch of crashed wrecks. You can also look for a derelict freighter. So as long as you have a, where is it? As long as you have an emergency beacon right here, you can go to a derelict freighter, and they will give it to you. Now, it is an end goal thing, so you have to get all the way through the wreckage, and then, I'm going to call in my ship because I'm way too lazy for this. You have to get all the way to the end of the derelict freighter, and then you can choose to get a Corvette piece. Look at that landing. Oh my God, that's so good. So you can do salvage scrap. You can do crashed freighters. They will have pieces as well. And a derelict freighter. So let's go do a derelict freighter. I can show you. I'm going to speed run one of them just to make it a little easier. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll put this into our starship. That way we have enough room to get all the pieces. There we are. And because they can't determine which size your Corvette is, they have to make a special landing pad for Corvettes. So look at this. It's a digital or a hologram landing pad. Because again, you can make these as big or as small as you want. If I just put one habitational cabinet in here, it'd be a very skinny one. And so I can't land on the landing pads. I have to use my beam aboard. There we go. Look at that. That's so cool. And so if you want to do the derelict freighter route, like if you are searching and you cannot find a planet that has salvageable scrap, just do one of these derelict freighters. Open up. And you don't even have to open up any boxes whatsoever. Just get to the end and choose to open up or choose to get a Corvette piece. Make sure I have enough room here. Okay, good. So we have nothing else in here. You're going to see this open up. And we're just going to speed run this because all I want is the Corvette piece. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. I don't care. So it's a 13-room derelict freighter. That's not good. So if you want to speed run this, don't open up any canisters. Don't open up any doors. Look, or don't open up any of these lockers. Look for the doors that have a number and an arrow. That is going to lead deeper and deeper into the derelict freighter. If it has a 0 and an arrow, that means it's a dead end. So there you go. That's a dead end door. This is leading in deeper. So we're 2 with an arrow. Got to go up here. And again, you don't have to do this. You can grab everything you want. I would recommend getting all the open containers. But if you're just looking for the Corvette pieces, you can speed run it by doing this. Look for the door with a number, an arrow. There it is. 3. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. Don't care about any of that. That's a dead end over there. This is our next door. We're gonna skip by all of this. Oh my God, look at all the stuff in the way. Boom, boom, boom. Looking for a door with a number. There it is. And it's usually the same color. So a dark purple is going to be a dead end. This like teal, like light blue color, that's going to be going forward, deeper in. Run it. Dead end. Going deeper, number 6. And I think this is the end. Nope, we're getting closer though. Well, maybe it is the end. Oh, it is the end. Okay, yeah, orange. Okay, so this is the end. The engineering control. So this is the end of it. I got there way faster than I thought. So they give you an option for fabricating items or extracting nanites. We want to fabricate items. And then you can choose between a technology upgrade for your freighter, a freighter bulkhead, or a fabricate Corvette module. That's the only way to get them out of a derelict freighter, is to do this. Grab it out of here. So, and it will give you a random one. You don't know what you're going to get. Every freighter is going to be, or every derelict freighter is going to be different. So I got a hull linkage. So there you go. I got a hull linkage. It's a structural piece. And there you are. Boom and boom. And now we're done. We got 3 of them out of that. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. And so that is how you would get pieces to build your first Corvette. Guys, keep in mind, the easiest way to do it is the way we just did it. We have to teleport back to our Corvette. There we are. But yeah, the easiest way is just go to a space station, buy the cheap parts first if you just want to get going, and then just do a search. Go to derelict freighters if you want to do it that way. I would highly recommend go to a planet that has salvage. Go in there because salvage is everywhere. It's easy to dig up and get pieces from it, and you will get a ton of pieces from doing that. So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time.